the light. I am the light of this world. I am the light. I am the light. I am the light of this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am the light, I am the light, I am the light of this world. I am the light, I am the light, I am the light of this world. And I shine, oh I shine,
and I shine,
yes I shine,
and I shine so bright. And I shine,
oh I shine,
and I shine,
and we shine,
and I shine so bright.
So I'm going to ask this portion of the congregation to face this portion of the congregation. Turn and face them. And I'm going to ask this part of the congregation to face this part. Find someone to sing to, and we'll sing, "You Are the Light." 2.
You are the light, you are the light, you are the light of this world. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light of this world.
Again.
And you shine,
oh you shine,
and you shine,
yes you shine,
and you shine so bright. And you shine,
oh you shine,
and you
how you
shine,
shine,
and you shine so bright.
Find someone different to sing to.
You are the light, you are the light, you are the light of this world. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light of this world. And we shine, and you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright.
We are the light.
We are the light, we are the light, we are the light of this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light of this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright.
And we shine.
And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. Here we go. And we shine, yes we shine, yes we shine so bright.
Good morning, Universal Spirit Center. Happy Sunday Resurrection. Happy Easter. We're so glad that you joined us here this morning. And the Easter Bunny, who's on his way out. Go lay some eggs if that is what you do. Let's acknowledge the extroverted Easter Bunny.
Woo, woo, woo! Yay, bunny, bunny, bunny.
But the person under that is not extroverted. So he just kind of came out, I guess, this morning. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm Kevin Busey. I have the great honor to be the spiritual leader of our thriving, progressive, inclusive spiritual community. And I welcome all of you here this morning. I want to take a moment and especially welcome for any of you who are new with us this morning. I would love to meet you if you're new with us, joining us for the first time. And if you are new, in the back table, we have guest packets for you that tell you who we are as spiritual community. So if you would like to pick one of these up, please do so. Also, we have contact cards, and if you would like to get our newsletter, our electronic newsletter that comes out weekly, please take this, fill it out, and when the basket comes across later, you can put it in the basket. Okay, let's find out what the youth are doing with Simon this morning.
And Rowan. Can you say it?
Hi.
Perfect. This is Rowan. I'm Simon. I am co-lead of the youth with Johnny. Today we're going to be doing all the fun Easter things. We got eggs, we got candies, don't tell the parents. We got fun activities and crafts for all the kids. And then we also got Lucy. Can you say hi, Lucy?
Hi.
Sweet. So we'll all be across the street. Today, because we are so full, I ask all the parents who will be leaving any children to just meet me across the street in the office space. The door will be open at the end of service, so feel free to come on by, collect your children. They'll be having a good time, and hopefully they don't want to leave. But if you have any questions or would be interested in volunteering, I'm always available at the end of service. If you see anybody else, say Lee, who is not an Easter bunny today, or say Kevin back here, or want to ask, you can always email us as well. We'll be more than happy to go ahead and give you any info about volunteering that you might be interested in. But as for today, I'm going to go ahead and lead us out in a quick prayer for the youth. So I do invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable, raise your hands up to the youth, and go ahead and find your center. In this breath, I know all is perfect, whole, and complete. I know all the youth are perfectly provided for by the loved ones that share all that love with them, all their experiences passed down to them. And I know that any experience I have is just something else to help facilitate their growth and their development into beautiful expressions of God that we all are. Knowing this to be true, I give thanks to Spirit, I give thanks to the youth, I give thanks to the parents and all the guardians that look after these beautiful souls. And I speak into being all this to be true and constant. With all these things, I give thanks and say, and so it is.
Thank you, Simon. That's beautiful. Thank you, Simon. So our motto here is, if you bring a child, take a child home. That's our motto. It's our theme we live by. So if you're interested, if you're new with us, I have an invitation for you. How many of you have taken foundations? Raise your hands. How many of you would recommend foundations? Okay, so those hands are up. So if you've not taken foundations or want a refresher course, I'm considering if we have enough people to lead a foundations experience in May. So here's what foundations is. Foundations is a group of people that gather together to apply spiritual truth to their lives and watch their lives transform. And what's cool is we do this in the context of community. So if that inspires you, there's a sign-up sheet at the Yes table. If we have enough people, I'd love to lead a group in that. So I want to let you know that. And then Bob, I just got directed to do this. We're having an Easter brunch today, so stay here after. Stay here after. I think what we're going to ask you to do is leave for about 10 minutes. Just go out to the sidewalk so we could set up in here, and then come on back. And at the door, the tickets are for sale. $20 at the door, so that's it for the ears. Okay, Bob's coming up.
Good morning. I'm Bob Mosa. I have your announcements for today. Hi. So we're going to start off with Racial Equality Project Call to Action. We're going to ask you to watch a video called I Lived as a Man and a Woman. It's a beautiful TED Talk that's worth your time and effort, so please go out to the website, go to the REP page, click the link, watch the video, and leave us your comments. Our history. United Nations recently hosted a convening focusing on fighting slavery's legacy of racism through education. Equal Justice Initiative Director Byron Stevenson spoke addressing the global implications of the slave trade and the obligations of the nations and cultural institutions to do more to confront this painful history. He said, police violence, the bigotry that we see today, are manifestations of a negative narrative struggling that we have to engage. That's where art and museums and every institution in the world can play a role. We overcome racial inequality. We must confront our history. We are all part of our history. Awakening Wednesday, we're starting a new series with Gino Walker. They're going to be, spring brings in new happenings. So every Tuesday or Wednesday, she's going to explore some of the greatest teachers of mindfulness, like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Abraham Hicks, Ram Dass, Deepak Chopra, and more. So the meditation, Creating New Habits on New Wire Consciousness starts this coming Wednesday. And third Saturday with Margot. Is she here today? No. So join Margot and her home as this powerful group tunes into different energies. We're asking for a love offering basis. If you're interested and need her address, go to info@universalspiritcenter.org. If you have any other questions about what I've said over today, especially for people online, you want to go to our website, universalspiritcenter.org. Mark your calendar for Poetry Night with our own poet laureate, Pat Anders. I think Pat's here. There she is. Stand up, Pat.
Stand up.
Celebrate April's National Poetry Month and bring a poem to read. Friday, April 21st at 6:30 across the street in our classrooms. If you're interested, sign up at the Yes table, or Pat will be outside at the table also. Spirit in Action, our social justice group. Don't miss Dining Out for Life, San Diego. On Thursday, April 27th, San Diego restaurants and bars will donate 25% of their proceeds to the Centers for HIV and AIDS Services Program. Universal Spirit Center has reserved a reservation at Ponce's restaurant, Mexican restaurant, for 10 people. So sign up. Those are going fast. Sign up at the Yes table outside. And finally, what do you call a bunch of rabbits in a line walking backwards? A receding hairline.
You notice he strategically places that joke right before I come up. You notice that? So I want to welcome all of you who join us online. We're so glad you're part of our community. I'm going to invite us all to stand, to turn around. Below the clock, there's a camera where hundreds of people are watching us online. So let's welcome and wave to all of you who join us online. Thanks for being part of our community. So please stay standing and welcome each other to Universal Spirit Center.
invite you to get back to your seats. And we will. So first and foremost, happy Easter, Universal Spirit Center. Yay, so wonderful. Such a beautiful day looking at all your beautiful, glorious faces. Yes. I'm Borghild Kellenberger. I'm one of your licensed prayer practitioners. And before I take you into a centering, and then our reading and our chanting and meditation, and then I will bring you back with a prayer, I want to just make a couple of announcements. And the first one is that we have a meditation now, and since we don't have the 8:30 gathering anymore, and it's from 10 to 10:15. And so if you get here at 10, just work your way to the back, and one of us will be there to guide you, lead you in a meditation for 15 minutes. The next announcement I have is that we have the prayer request table right here to the left. And if you are in need of prayer or you would like a practitioner during the week to reach out to you, just go ahead and fill out a prayer request, the template, and you put it in the box. Or if you want prayer in person today, I will be in the back room at the end of the gathering. Thank you. And so now let's just take a nice deep breath. Yes. Today is Easter. What a happy day. And breathe into the space that your body occupies. And just relax. Be present right here and right now. And so our reading is from Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind and Spirit. And it says, I arise and go forth into the dawn of the new day, filled with faith and assurance in the all good. I arise, I sing with joy. I proclaim the one life that is in all and through all. I arise, I shout with gladness that is within me. I declare this day to be complete, perfect, and eternal.
Join us. At my right hand, Michael. At my left hand, Gabriel. Before me, Uriel. Behind me, Raphael. Calling the angels. Calling the angels. And within me, Almighty. And within me, almighty love. Almighty love. And within me, almighty love. Almighty love. And within me, almighty love. Almighty love. And within me, almighty love. Calling the angels. Calling the angels. Two more times. Calling the angels. Calling the angels.
And so right here, right now, in this very space, this sacred space where we are all gathered here this morning, in celebration of a very special day, I know that the all good is right here. It moves through me and it moves through each one of you gathered here this morning. And I'm knowing that that all good that lives, moves, and breathes in all of life is in everyone I see and in everything I hear. And I am knowing that life is good. This all good permeates everything in its path. Each one of us. In the voice of Reverend Kevin with the words he has for us today, I know that that all good is in the band behind me, in our choir on fire, and I know that the all good is expressing in the voices of our guest artists. And how wonderful it is to know that this space was prepared so lovingly by the hands of the all good for us this morning. This special celebration and then the continued celebration with brunch afterwards. And I am knowing that just as my voice is the all good expressing through me, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to know this. I'm grateful to hear the message. I'm grateful to hear the music and be part of all this joy that is expressing itself today. And so I know this for each one of us, a mighty blessing. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
Good morning once again. Would be remiss if I didn't introduce Bev Doherty, who's also soloing today. Thank you so much for being here today. And the choir on fire. We've all risen, the Christ consciousness within us today.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up
so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Oh, you raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can
Jamie Lula from LA. Jamie, thank you for being with us today. And Bev, thanks for being with us as well. Hi again. So I know someone who's just starting a recovering program, and they asked me to go with them to a meeting yesterday. Town and Country, there's a gather-up meeting, roundup meeting, and there was a panel of new people in recovery. And they all spoke of their journey in recovery. And let me get my book, my notes. They all spoke about their process of what got them into recovery. And whoever assembled these speakers did a good job because they were all really diverse speakers, young, old, man, woman. But they'd all been in recovery maybe a year-ish. And their all stories were really different. But as I thought about their stories, what I realized is there was clearly a dynamic in all their stories. And that is that their lives became shattered, brokenhearted, immense suffering and pain. And some of them had lived that for many years with no way out. And then something happened. Someone entered their lives, or they just realized their life was so hopeless they needed to do something. So they got into AA. They let go. They let go of the thinking and the behavior that took them to a place of such devastation. They let go. And they let go, they said, into God, into their higher power, into divine experience, spiritual experience. And all of their lives had radically changed. And they all who spoke had a deep awareness of God's love for them. I thought, wow, how powerful is that? How powerful. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm thinking, that really is the dynamic of the spiritual life. That when you and I suffer, when we're at a dead end, when we feel hopeless, when life is overwhelming, when we feel such pain, who have Who's felt this way in this room? Who's felt this way? Human experience, right? It's a human experience. That in that, we have a choice. In our pain, in our suffering, we have a choice. And the choices can hang out in that, say, this is my life. Life is just a really bad experience. And we can we could pitch a tent in that kind of energy of despair, hopelessness, suffering. We can do that. And the longer we are in that energy, right, the more we develop a perception or maybe even a personality of victimhood. That life is just out to get me. And it's just full of suffering. I mean, we could live that way. Or we could realize that whatever we're going through is simply a process to lead us into what's new, a greater awakening, a divine experience. You and I can let go of those energies that keep us down and move into an awareness that something else wants to happen through us. As we surrender and let go, a new life, a new awakening can happen. That's what these people on the panel felt. I'm sure there's tons of NA and AA meetings where that's the experience of folks. And it can be our experience too. To let go into something that is greater than us, that knows more than us. And I was thinking about that. I was thinking, that's the call of the universe. Nature itself goes through this process, almost like to remind us of this dynamic. We have summer, the fullness of life, the heat of summer. And then right after summer, we have a process of a letting go. We have fall. It's a letting go. And then we have an experience in winter, which we experienced this year in San Diego. I feel kind of proud of that. We went through our first winter, it feels like. Where things feel cold and wet and barren and dead, right? It appears that way. There's a death. And then the energy we're in now, new life. Even the way of nature shows us this is the process. This is the process. So I want to say this. If we're not feeling in the spring right now, in the experience of new life, let's be clear that there is a newness. There is a new life. There is a possibility of a greater awareness. We just may not be feeling it right now as spring is happening. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our philosophy, calls this awakening or this awareness or this realization of something greater than us, he calls it ultimate reality. It's like the truest reality. It's a reality that you and I experience when we kind of put down our senses and we surrender and we let go to that which wants to move through us. For 14 billion years, this dynamic has been happening. We call it the evolutionary process, where there's an evolving to a greater expansion. And what's always included in that is a letting go of lesser things. A letting go of what's lesser. Now, sometimes that's hard for us. Sometimes that's painful. Sometimes we don't choose it. But regardless, we're all called at some point in our life to let go of something so that something greater can happen through our lives. So Ernest Holmes' ultimate reality is this. I love this. There's a loving intelligence. There's a loving intelligence which created all things and everything and resides within you and me as an intimate presence. That same energy that started 14 billion years ago, it resides within you. And so within you, within your life, an evolutionary process is happening. A call to evolve. So I happened to read a couple days ago this quote from Joel Goldsmith, who was a writer in the 1950s. And he quotes Jesus in saying, oh, you know what? I might have lost my page. He quotes Jesus in saying, I have come that you might have life. I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. That is the promise. Quotes of Jesus. That is the promise. But there are steps leading to the fulfillment of that process that are sometimes very, very, very difficult because a surrendering is needed. Let me read that again. So Joel Goldsmith quotes Jesus that says, I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And then Joel Goldsmith says, that is the promise, but there are footsteps leading to that promise that can be very, very, very difficult because of the surrender that is necessary. So I'm going to invite you right now, just take a deep breath in. Please don't stop breathing through this. Just keep breathing. So today, we acknowledge and celebrate a pretty powerful story that is a roadmap to this process. This process of kind of like dying, surrendering, letting go, and new life. So we do that. I'm going to talk about and explore this story in a minute. But I also feel like it's important to mention this. From the time the human being was capable of having an awareness of a presence greater than itself, this loving intelligence has been attempting to get our attention. It has happened in every generation, in every culture, in every place on the planet where there are people. There has been a calling of this loving intelligence to make itself known to us. That's how we have various traditions, various spiritual traditions, various gurus, messiahs, Buddhas, and they're all authentic traditions pointing to the same thing. There is an awakening to be had. There is an energy and a presence and a love that is seeking full expression through your life. In every place on the planet, at every time, this call has been present. So today, we turn our attention to a little over 2,000 years ago, to an obscure time in an obscure land in the Middle East, in a very conflicted time where Jewish people were settled and were occupied by the Roman army. And in that context, in that particular culture, in that generation, in that age, we see this dynamic of dying and rising, and it's the life of Jesus. So the life of Jesus shows us very clearly our life. This dynamic that Jesus went through is not exclusive to his life, but it's like a roadmap for our life. So before we talk about the significance of today, I think it's important that we talk about the whole life of Jesus. You know, it's kind of like if you take a poem and take one line out and read that line, you don't really get the full impact of the poem, right? Just as you took a novel and took one chapter out of that novel and read it, you're not going to get a sense of the whole novel. So if you just considered today, there's things that happened about Jesus that maybe make today make more sense. So there's three parts, I think, of Jesus' life, of Jesus' process, of this process. The first is this. Jesus, at some point, had a radical, profound, enormous experience of God's love, such that it radically changed him, and it ended up changing the world. He was so awakened to divine love that it changed everything. So then he talked about it. He talked about this radical inclusiveness of God's love. This is the second part of the story. But the Jewish leaders and the religious leaders and the political leaders and the Roman leaders were threatened by his message because it was one of inclusivity, welcoming everyone. So Jesus hung around those people who society rejected. Lepers, tax collectors, prostitutes, that was his folks. That was his people. Because he was calling forth all people to this experience. So there's a radical inclusiveness to Jesus' call, to God's love, that excludes no one. And that was threatening. Because you know what the human mind likes to do? It likes to divide and separate and make other. And as soon as we feel threatened by other, we get self-righteous and try to attack other. And that's human nature, right? And that's what Jesus' call was, radical inclusion of everyone. So the religious and political leaders were so threatened by this that they ended up killing him, thinking that was going to stop the message, right? That was going to stop the message. So let me just share a brief version of today's story, the story of today. On the first day of the week, just before dawn, 3 women went to the tomb to anoint the body of Jesus. When they arrived at the tomb, they found that the tomb was empty. And upon entering the tomb, they encountered a being of light that said, Jesus is not here. He's risen. So that's the abbreviated story. According to me. So let's look at this story a little bit. Before dawn, the first day of the week before dawn, at a beginning. There's a beginning happening. At a beginning, 3 women. 3 is a transformative number. So what we know is transformation is in the air. This story is about a beginning, and it's about transformation. 3 women, that part in us that's receptive, that can receive the message. 3 women, that's powerful. In the beginning, 3 women, it's that part in us that is ready for a new beginning and can take it in. They go to a place, they journey to a place where there is death. And they find that death is not there. In fact, they find a being of light, and they find someone who is risen above death. That can be our story. Because this resurrection can only be understood in the context of Jesus' experience of radical love and in what happened in his last week, where he suffered, had pain, reached despair, was betrayed, and let go. He let go. And in that letting go, he experienced new life. So this is actually can be our story. The invitation this morning to you and to me is to see our suffering as part of our process and to realize it's part of the evolutionary process that we're all called to. We may not like it, but it's about surrendering into what is in the full awareness that we move to an experience of new life as we let go. And the new life is this. It's an awakening that within you is a loving intelligence that seeks to be known by you and seeks to evolve through you. So that becomes the greater truth. Not our pain, not our suffering, not our confusion. But the fact that within you is a loving intelligence calling you forth. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath here now. I'm going to invite you to breathe right into your heart. And earlier this morning, Jamie led us in calling in the angels. So just call in your angels, call in your guardians, call in your ancestors who have made their transition. So we are surrounded with beings of light. So just feel into that now. Just feel into your... And imagine, now I'm going to take you on a little journey. Imagine that you are walking down a path. It's a beautiful, beautiful spring day, not unlike today. And you arrive at a cave. It is dark. As you step in, it's dark, it's cold, this cave is. Step in that cave. And be with that in your life which feels heartbreaking or disappointing. Be with that in your life which just feels like a struggle. It just feels hard. So just be in that place now. tending to your heart. As you breathe in, notice a divine light happening before you. Maybe it starts as a candle, a little flame, a sacred light. Open here now to this experience of light that's happening in this dark cave. An experience here that you're accompanied with beings of light, with angels of God, and experience this cave being lit with light and grace. So just feel that now. Feel that happening in your heart. So open, right now, just open your heart to the experience of light and love and God. Open your heart.
Open my heart. Open my heart. Open my heart. Open my heart. Open my heart. Open my heart.
Join us in singing.
Open my heart. Open my heart. Open my heart. Open my heart.
Open our hearts now to the experience of love. We open our hearts to the power of grace. Open our hearts to God's love. We let this divine love fill us and move through us and heal us and transform us and raise us up beyond limitations, beyond human conditions, into the experience of full love and full light. So we allow ourselves to rise up.
Open my heart. 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 Open my heart.
So we just take a deep breath in. These energies move through us, integrate in us. And I invite you to bring your awareness back to the room. Thanks for joining me in the process. Let's acknowledge our ensemble on fire. And I'm going to welcome up Beverly Dougherty. To lead us.
Why don't we give some acknowledgement to Rev Kev here on that wonderful. I don't know about you, but I've been in a cave from time to time. I mean, I lived in Seattle for 30 years. But it's beautiful there. I'm not putting it down, but I'm glad to be in the sunshine and start something new. Are you ready to start something new? All right, then this song's for you. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. All I know is gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I've learned, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. All I know is gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving and I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. Well, I think it's time, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. All I know is gonna be everything new. Well, I survived many times before, a broken heart and a slamming door. Well, I'll be all right, yes I will, once more, like I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, so come on, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. All I know is gonna be everything new. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. And I am ready. Are you? For your next thing to do. All I know is gonna be everything new. All I know. Do you know? All I know. It's not gonna be like last year. It's not gonna be like 10 minutes ago. It's not gonna be like just then. It's gonna be new right here, right now. Thank you.
Bring it on. Hi, Universal Spirit Center. My name is James, and I'm here to participate and lead us through conscious giving. This is a very important time to really just stop and think about all the blessings in life. all the many things that are here for us. It's so easy to get caught up in what we don't have and tighten our giving because we need to protect what we need to do to take care of ourselves. And this moment of conscious giving is actually to reach out and to give, and that includes our folks that are part of our online community as well. You know, I started coming here in November of 2021, and you know, I had a broken heart, and I was just crying. The music here is so beautiful, and I gave Gino a big hug, and I just had this experience. You know, I was ending a relationship where I had my whole life tied up into it. I had a beautiful home in South Park, and you know, I was going on this new journey, new career, and on my own, and it was like, whoa, I didn't ask for this. But this fellowship here really lifted me up. The music, the message, the community, all of it, you know, this is a place that called me home. And so if you are going through anything at this moment, know that you are not alone. You are amongst friends here, and the divine is within you, and you will be okay. So I just take this moment. We can put our hands over our heart. Thank you to all the people that give. Thank you to our loved ones that we still receive the love from above. And to all those in need, we give for you. And you can put your hand on your heart, and so it is.
So it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything.
Come on, y'all, sing it with us in every now.
Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for everything.
Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything.
Oh, oh,
Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything.
ah, here we go.
Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything.
Thank you, Jamie. House band, Sounds of Spirit. Ensemble and choir, Beverly. James. Thank you. Thank you, James. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for joining us online. Please stand and join hands. So let's get really clear as we join hands with each other that there is within us an energy, a love, a presence that is seeking to rise up within us. So we just surrender to it. We let it rise up within us. We let it move out into our lives, blessing the world. And let's know this together as we say, and so it is.
Everybody
get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody now, everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Come on now, sing it out loud. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Yeah, everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful noise. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light. Everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. Take it to the bridge. Oh, let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey.